Okay. I am going to call to order the August 11th Board of Assessors meeting at the Lakeville Library. It is 4 p.m. Do we have any public comment? I do not believe we do, since we're the only ones here. We have meeting minutes that I believe Linda has sent out. Has she emailed those to us? Yeah, she did email those to us a little while ago. So hopefully we've had a chance to review it. If so, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I believe everyone throughout the course of the week,
Do you want to just double check?
Dave,
Yes, I
Even Dave? Is that what you said?
If you were here early, we would talk. David also, because we know John and I have already seen those before the meeting opened, has signed them as well. So we have the invoices signed, the monthly motor vehicle abatement reports, and the motor vehicle commitment and warrants for motor vehicle have all been signed. And next agenda item is review and approval of CPA exemptions, which I'm going to have David update us on.
Yeah, so I've started the initial review of CPA applications that have come in. There are 11 that are in so far. I expect many, many more. I have reviewed income and associated documents that folks have submitted. I have sent one back because it was insufficient in terms of what was provided. Everyone who has submitted a complete application at this point is qualified, greatly qualified for the exemption. What I need to do now is just go through and look at whether they are the actual owner or if they're leasing the property. So once I have that all in hand, I'll start bringing them before the board. We'll probably do them in batches each month from this point forward. The applications themselves are not due until April 1st. And so we won't dispense with them until after actual tax bills go out anyways. That's when after tax bills go out is probably when we'll get the bulk of them.
Okay, all right, so we'll just, as they come in periodically, we'll review them, approve them, and then we'll wait for the lion's share of them to come.
Yes.
Sometime after the first of the year.
Yes.
Very good. Next agenda item is the Vision property cards on GIS. So can you update us as to where we are and what decisions we need to make?
So many of our communities have phased out the Vision's database that they host for the communities. It costs about $1,800 a year to run that database. And so what we've worked to do is to connect with the folks at Access GIS, who they host our GIS map, which is linked to our website, to be able to upload our property record cards directly on there. So there'll be a single place that folks will be able to obtain that information. Right now, folks can get a truncated version of the property record card with assessment information on it, but it's not as robust as the full property record card. There are two options that we have for this upload. We can either pay, so they have to write a script for us to be able to do this. It's proprietary technology. Both of these options are a one-time fee. So we could either do an $1,800 option, which allows us to upload our property record cards once per year, or we could do a $2,800 option that allows us to upload property record cards anytime we want. We can do it 365 times a year if we wanted to.
We just have to set the schedule ourselves, whether we do them weekly, monthly, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, most communities that we work with, they do the one time a year.
Right.
We do it after actual tax bills are
Yeah,
sent
how
out.
often do you need
Why
that?
would you really need to do
Right.
more than that?
You don't really.
Okay.
I am in agreement with you. I think the only, to your point, to your question, I guess, the only reason you'd want to do it more than once a year is if you have someone who's looking for a property record card on a piece of property that's just been improved or there's been a change to it,
And
which
they still have
happens,
access to that.
but they just don't have as much.
Yeah, they could come down to the office
Right.
and get the property record
Right.
card. Or I had someone call in today for assessment information on a property. So
That would be the only complaint.
Yeah.
Somebody would say, "Oh, this. What do you mean? I got to wait till next year. This thing was just improved. I want to see it now."
Yeah,
But isn't it the
But
way
like
it's
you said,
been
you can
anyway?
just come in.
and we'll gladly print the record card.
Yeah.
How often was it getting updated with Vision?
I don't know the answer to that. We phased it out.
I think it was getting updated more than annual. It wasn't like all the time,
Yeah.
but it was getting updated on a
Maybe
maybe more
quarterly.
regular basis, quarterly or something like that.
But even still, it's not. The
know
minute
what
it
changes.
The minute it updates, the next day it could be out of date.
Right.
So
No, I
So
think-
Vision was charging us $1,800 a year every year.
yeah.
So seems like a no-brainer, right?
I
Right.
agree. So
My recommendation is to go with the $1,800 option that allows us to upload cards once a year, and that we do it after actual tax bills are sent out.
I make a motion to do what Dave just said.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor of doing what Dave just said?
Aye.
Not Lamoureux, for the record.
Big Golden. Aye.
Aye. Great. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, number 9. Well, it's worded, should we research and provide a list of properties requested by Mia, I'm assuming it's Chacker.
Yep.
But in a nutshell, someone has made a request, not just of the Board of Assessors, but of, I guess, a number of departments.
Board of Health,
Yeah, Board
Building
of Health,
Department.
Building Department. Nate did update me on this literally like an hour ago. Fortunately, he gave me a little of the background, but she's looking to get a list of stressed properties and properties that are.
Abandoned, distressed, blighted,
So the town.
vacant.
Yeah, and according to, I mean, we don't have a running list of that.
Right.
We obviously have access to information that we can, put a list together for. But I don't believe, according to Nate, the building department does it. I don't think the Board of Health necessarily has anything that's running anywhere. So the question is, do we provide that list? In a brief discussion with Dave prior to the meeting, we have the ability to do it. The question is, do we do it because someone requested it? And the additional question I'd put on the table is,
What's the purpose? Is she an investor
Well,
trying to?
we know what the purpose is, but is she a resident of Lakeville?
I don't know that she's a resident of Lakeville. There was no contextual information in her
This doesn't seem
Freedom
like the
of
job
Information
of
Act request,
of the
but
municipality.
well, a couple things. So the question is, should we be doing this? We have we can do it. I don't think it takes us forever to do it because we can run reports and put in criteria
So
and whatnot. But the I guess maybe my personal real question is, once you start, where do you stop?
Well,
the next
how-
person wants something
How would
more.
we know if a property's in
Yeah.
distress?
So what we could do, so part of her request was vacant properties. So we could send her a list of vacant land in town. That's a simple report. And you press a button and it comes out. The other thing that's a little bit more complicated is her request for blighted or run down, poor condition properties. There's no running list for that. We could run a report backing into the information. We do record conditions of properties to help influence assessment value. So when a property is
So if I let my property run down, it'll be worth less, and I can lower my tax.
yes, but it doesn't do it very much, to be honest with you.
I actually have her original request. Vacant and abandoned property list, dilapidated and poor condition list, condemned or dangerous property list, properties with red X's, whatever the heck that means, blighted and distressed property list. So,
I really don't think this is the
Red X
assessors.
is so that the fire department doesn't go in.
Oh, okay.
They put it on the outside.
Interesting.
Like the old nursing home that they knocked down.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. All right. Now I know
You're the
that.
first person I've known who knew.
But he's
about
right. They put a big red X.
That's because Dave's always looking for property.
it.
Dave sees a red X on it, something, he jams the brakes on his head, behind him, how close they have to be on the highway, so.
Uh,
I don't see that this is our job to do
Right.
to provide.
It's very subjective too. So I think perhaps we could contribute to the FOIA request by providing the vacant land report. But beyond that, I think you folks are probably correct.
Is she willing to compensate us for the time?
We can
can
actually
ask
charge. We can actually charge her for that. So that my next question was, what are the parameters that we can charge? There's got to be some guidelines. I'm sure we just can't. Say
Offhand, I
charge somebody.
don't know, but
I wouldn't have a problem providing information that's easily accessible to us, that, you know, it's a flip of a computer switch or
yeah,
something.
and that's the vacant land
For-
piece.
For a fee. I mean, because obviously, you know, people are looking for this for
Yeah.
a reason.
Right.
So why don't we do this? I think maybe we need to know what the parameters are for the fee, because if we say yes, we're going to go forward with okay for the vacant properties, but that's the only thing we'll provide.
Right.
For a fee, we kind of need to know, do we
I
determine
personally-
the fee, or
I'm not strongly opposed to it, but I'm personally opposed to it at any level, just because it just creates more.
It's really
what do we do the next
due
time? And
diligence
how do you
on
figure
somebody's
out
part.
this?
It's really not.
It's not our
on
job
us
to do that.
Plus, how do we know? I mean, we know what, you know, where there's vacant lots. Do we know that they're buildable? Do we know any of that stuff?
She's just
well,
trying
again,
to.
it opens up.
She's
you know,
trying to-
it's the camel's nose
Yeah.
under the.
Yes.
All right. Well, can you tell me, is it buildable? Can you give me more information?
See,
on
I
it?
think there might be some liability too, if we're giving them information on property.
I don't. Probably not, because we're a municipality. But
I-
yeah, in any other realm, we
At
would.
the very least, we should probably have town council look at this request and say yay or nay.
That's just spending more money for something that we could just say no to.
All right, so let's do this then. Let's confirm with town council that we don't have any obligation, that we don't need to do this. If we don't need to do it, rather than create more work and headaches for requests like this, then we come back, and my guess is we'll probably lean towards saying, we just don't, you know.
Yeah.
If we have running lists that are available, that's
Yeah.
public information, we provide it.
That's the
But
thing,
we
right?
don't, we're not in the business of creating these lists.
don't
The
have this-
information's in there. Somebody
Right.
can,
They can.
Go in
It's
there.
their job to
it's
Piece
their
it
job.
together,
Yeah,
not
go
our
through
job.
and put every, you know, you can do it yourself.
drive around.
And actually, I believe with the GIS, the access system that we have now, you can actually do some of that yourself. I mean, you need to know what you're doing. You can actually probably
Yeah.
put some of those lists together and run some.
Yeah.
You may need to pay someone if you don't know how to do it,
Right.
but
On Vision it has every.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
That's how.
yeah, but I'm thinking even as opposed to just going through one by one by one, you
Right.
can create
Filter.
a program to
Yeah.
filter stuff out. So
Yeah.
you could probably do this
Can't
yourself.
help them do it.
I know, that's why I was saying that. Somebody told me they know how to do that. So.
yeah.
All right, so we'll just check with town council and make sure
Okay.
we have no obligation.
Do you want to send that to her? Or you want
Yeah,
me to?
yeah, he's gone this week, so I'll check with him next week.
I also reached out about the parameters for charging. for
Oh,
these
okay.
types of requests.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be good to know. It sounds like we may not go there in this
Okay.
one, but in the future.
good to know for the
it'll be
future.
helpful
Yeah.
in the future, so. Do we have any new business? Any other business or old business? We haven't done anything with that pictorial or the picture stuff yet, right? So. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
With certification going on, it's not at the forefront of my mind, to be honest with you.
Gotcha. All right, well, we'll keep that on the back burner for the time being. I guess that's it. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you.
Adjourn 4:14 PM.